Alrighty, rounding out the last of the three main events is the main event for the UFC lightweight title. Frankie Edgar versus Gray Maynard, the trilogy. I'm not going to try to say too much, even though there is a lot of, do's and don'ts in this fight, but I'm just going to try to keep it as simple and as brief as I can, so bear with me. But yeah, this is the final chapter, so to speak, in the history book of Gray Maynard and Frankie Edgar. I think with this fight, I think both men want to capitalize on the openings that they received, because I think that's what happened in the last fight. I think Gray Maynard, was really so focused on just knocking out Frankie Edgar that he really didn't see that he had other openings, like Randy Couture stated, for submissions and stuff like that. So if Gray does get that chance again to put Frankie Edgar down, or at least rock him, it'll be interesting to see what openings he takes. And I think Frankie Edgar is the same way. I think that if he has a chance to turn up the pressure on Gray Maynard and take him down frequently and keep him there and do damage, I think he's going to do that. So I think what we're going to see here is we're going to see a more patient fight. I don't think anybody's going to hold back at the same time, but I think both guys are going to be more patient, and they're going to let the opportunities present themselves instead of just trying to put each other away in one round. This round is going to go a little while, so I don't know if I just got a sinking feeling it's not going to go all 5 rounds. I say the farthest it may go will probably be maybe like the 4th round. I don't think it's going to go all 5 rounds, because I think both men want to win this fight too bad to let it go 5 rounds. So we're gonna see some type of ending in this fight, like whether it be by knockout or submission, something. I mean, somebody counters somebody and catches them with a punch or a kick. I mean, something spectacular is gonna happen in this fight. I just think that it's just gonna be a jaw-dropping type ending for some reason, because both men want to end this rivalry, and the only way you can end the rivalry is to finish your opponent, beat them convincingly. So we'll definitely see that. I believe it. I believe we'll definitely get a finish here. Now, as far as what each man is going to look to do or has to do, I'll start off with Gray Maynard. I think what Gray Maynard needs to do is I think he needs to use his wrestling a lot more, because I think last fight, Randy Couture made a good point about this too. I think last fight, he was so focused on taking Frankie Edgar out of the fight by trying to knock him out that he didn't go back and use his forte, which is his wrestling ability, because I know that Frankie Edgar doesn't want to be taken down again. So yeah, I think we'll see a lot more wrestling with Gray Maynard here, and if he doesn't chase Edgar around, if he stalks him and cuts the cage off, I think that'll make the opportunity for the takedown even greater. Because I think the reason why he gassed in the last fight is because he was trying to chase Edgar around so much, and I think because of that, I think, like he pointed out in the pre-fight interview, he just had a adrenaline dump, and he kind of lost a lot of energy. So I think he just needs to stalk Edgar down and just cut the cage off and get him in one corner of the cage and try and get the takedown from there. And if he can do that, I think I think he can win the fight. If he uses his wrestling a lot. Now, as far as the striking goes, I'm not saying don't use your boxing, because your boxing looked excellent. That's how he almost stopped Edgar the first time. But the problem was with that is he was so eager to finish him that he ended up chasing him around trying to hurt him. And what I'm saying is if he cuts the cage off and wants to let his hands go, then that's fine. He can get him up against the fence and dirty box him, hit him with some good uppercuts and elbows and knees to the body. And like I said, he could also use the takedown as well. So I think Gray just has to be more patient. Because I think he knows he can beat Edgar. I think he knows he's stronger than Edgar. So he just has to be patient, I think. You just, pace yourself. Cut the cage off, like I just stated, and the opportunities will present themselves. Now, as far as Frankie Edgar goes, I think his downfall was, well, first of all, I think he got surprised by Gray Maynard striking. I don't think he expected Maynard to come out and try and outbox him. So he was kind of, surprised in the last fight, but I don't think he'll be startled this time. I think he knows that Gray Maynard is going to stalk him down and looking to pace himself this fight. So I think Edgar, what he has to do to avoid that, and I mentioned this in the predictions video last night, is that he has to use the game plan that he did against BJ Penn. Do a lot of moving around. Get him frustrated. Use the punches and kicks to score, and maybe transition into a takedown. Because I've noticed a lot when Frankie Edgar does move around a lot, and guys aren't able to catch him. They get frustrated and they end up leaving themselves open for punches and kicks and stuff. So if Frankie just comes out, and starts jetting on Gray Maynard from the start, I think that'll get Gray Maynard upset. And we all know that Gray Maynard is not as fast as Frankie Edgar, so he'll really be pissed about that. Because Gray Maynard, he wants, a slow, methodical type fight, and Frankie Edgar wants a fast-paced, in-your-face type of fight. So I think if Edgar can, like I said, just move around a lot, get him frustrated, and when he starts to commit, let his hands go, use the leg kicks, and look for the takedowns and do damage, and maybe we could see a submission from Frankie Edgar, because he was able to take BJ Penn down dominantly. And I think at one point in the fight, he had BJ's back and almost choked him out. So maybe if if Frankie Edgar can get some explosive takedowns on Maynard, maybe we could see a submission here. That would be nice to see. I think Frankie Edgar might win some fans over if he gets a convincing conclusion to his fight. But yeah, if he's just starts off fast and finishes fast, then he should be okay, But like I said, he's going to have to maneuver around, because Gray Maynard is going to want to look to cut the cage off early and, pace himself and look for his opportunities for strikes and takedowns. And he's going to try and wear on Edgar. Because Maynard, like I said, he's a lot stronger than Edgar is, so he's going to use that power and size to, take some of the air out of the sails of Frankie Edgar. So, it's all good. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for that fight. I think it'll be another classic, but like I said, I don't see it going past 4 rounds. And like I said, we will see a finish in this fight because this is Gray Maynard's last chance, and Frankie Edgar wants to come out and make a statement. So we'll get a finish in this fight. I don't know which round, but I don't see it going 4 rounds. So that's my logic on that. Oh yeah, and real quick, I didn't get to do my Spike prelims predictions, so I'm going to go ahead and get those out of the way. Jeremy Stephens versus Anthony Pettis. This could possibly be another fight of the night candidate. Both guys love the strike. Both love the knockout. Anthony Pettis, I believe, will have the size and reach advantage. Jeremy Stephens, I believe he has the advantage as far as like pure power is concerned. So I think what he needs to do is I think he needs to come forward a lot on Anthony Pettis, and he needs to look to let his hands go early. If the fight hits the ground, Jeremy Stephens does have pretty decent submission defense, so you know hopefully he can stay out of Anthony Pettis' guard, because Anthony Pettis does have a magnificent triangle choke. So hopefully he can get out of his guard and pass the side control and either hurt him with some elbows or punches from side control. Anthony Pettis, what he needs to do, he needs to use the footwork and use those flashy kicks of his, and try to keep Jeremy Stephens guessing. And I think if he does that, he can win the fight. Jeremy Stephens, he needs to keep the distance, or no, he needs to close the distance, I should say, and just try to flurry as much as he can and try and catch Pettis. But I think ultimately what's going to end up happening is I think Pettis' well-versed striking ability is going to be too much for Stephens. I mean, I'm not doubting Stephens. I mean, he could catch Anthony Pettis because, all that flashy stuff, that can cost you in MMA. So Jeremy Stephens has a chance of winning. He could catch him, like I said, if he closes the distance and lets his hands go. But I think, Anthony Pettis just has too many ways to win the fight, and plus he's a lot taller and a lot more longer. And I just think, like I said, his well-versed striking ability is going to kind of overwhelm Jeremy Stephens. I think he's going to try to do what Melvin Gillard did, just move around a lot and just keep Stephens guessing. So, but in the end, I do see Anthony Pettis winning this fight. I'm actually going to pick this fight to go to decision. I believe he will rock Stephens a lot, and I think Stephens might even rock him, but it might go to a decision. If it doesn't go to decision, I'll pick Anthony Pettis by TKO. And then, of course, the last fight on the Spike prelims version of UFC 136 is Damian Maia versus Jorge Santiago. Real simple. Damian Maia does not need to stand up with Jorge Santiago at all. He needs to get this fight to the ground as soon as possible, whether it's pulling guard or actual takedown. Damian Maia does have improved wrestling, so I'm sure he will look to use that. At least I hope he does. And if he does decide to stand up with Jorge Santiago, I suggest that he close the distance and try to get Santiago in the clinch instead of just taking the center of the octagon and just trying to stand in front of Santiago. As far as Santiago goes, just try to stuff the takedowns and keep the fight standing up. Hold on. And keep the fight standing up. And just don't get taken down and don't get submitted. But I think that Damian Maia is crafty enough to where, he can pull guard or trip guys up and eventually get the fight to the ground. So I think Damian Maia will have the ability to get the fight to the ground, and I'm going to go ahead and pick him by submission if Jorge doesn't knock him out. So I got Damian Maia by submission. So that's the end of the video. Enjoy the fights. I'm out.